All right, folks, welcome back to episode 22. We are back and we are back better than ever. Rob, how we doing?
Good. What's going on, Tom?
Not much, man. We had an interesting tournament uh end today. Well, yeah, today's Monday.
Yeah. hmm
It's our normal recording night. We were gifted. I don't know. I don't know
It,
about gifted, but
yeah. It was so confusing trying to watch coverage. Friday, Saturday between everything, and then going back to last year's rain delay, watching last year's coverage. I kind of didn't like it, but obviously paid off for like today and yesterday with just a ton of golf.
I 1000% agree with you. On Saturday, I had no idea what was going on. Like I had to look at the leaderboard. I looked at the TV. I'm like, what round is this? And then
Well,
I wasn't sure if it was like the second round of the day or the first round. And then I kept going back and forth. To your point, yeah, super frustrating. But I
well,
mean,
I wish they had. I mean, because they had a lot of cool updates to the graphics right this year. It seemed like they had like little things here and there that kind of added a little bit of value. And I kept on thinking on Saturday, I'm sure it would have been a pain in the ass, and probably that's why they didn't do it. But I wish they were able to tell you, like, this is JT's round one. This is,
right,
so and so's round two. Cause that's where I kept on getting confused at where who finished round two and who didn't even start round two yet.
yeah, super confusing. I even went back and watched a little bit of it last night. Yeah, I watched last or yesterday's coverage. I watched most of it during real time, and then I caught the second end of it at like 11 o'clock last night on demand, just because I wanted to know what was going on. I was actually like, I needed some type of answer to like where things transpired throughout Saturday, Sunday, stuff I
hmm
could catch. So, anyways, today was insane. I mean,
Yeah.
the back,
Every time, I know, every time you turned around to see, what the leaderboard was, you had five tied, or I thought Cam Smith was going to run away with it in the beginning after his hot start. And it was just because what he birdied the
wow,
first four holes,
yeah,
right? Just nuts. And then
but
freaking Keegan coming out of nowhere. That was awesome too. I like Keegan.
yeah, the back nine was bananas. I mean, honestly, yeah, the tournament gets talked about a lot as the fifth major. It showed it, down the stretch. Like the last 6, 7 holes were awesome. I mean, you had what, four guys at one point at 8 or 9, and then Cam kind of, you know, took a lead there. He was up what, two at the most at one point. He was at 13. I think somebody was at maybe he was up three at one point. Anyhow,
Yep.
that gap kind of closed. Like you said, Keegan came around, and then, dude, I felt so bad. So on 18, did you see? So he went from earning like 1.5 to like 800K.
Keegan, right?
Yeah, basically half his earnings.
Yeah. hmm
Crazy. Um, yeah,
Well,
guys.
then you had Casey's, ball run into a divot,
Right.
which was nuts. I mean, that was a horrible break because he looked like he was coming too. So
Then he had Cam Smith hitting driver on 18.
when
Like,
he did that,
yeah, but here's the thing. Like, to me, like the whole, you know, armchair quarterback thing. Yeah, sure. Like, what the right play was to do is probably hit three wood. But guess what? If he, which he did, he pulled driver, right? If he smokes driver down the middle of the fairway, then he gets praised. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, but his tee shot on 16,
right.
you know,
That
that
looked
was
that looked like one of us.
that looked like me from Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, to your point. Yeah, that is a good point. I mean, he didn't really hit driver well. But kind of what I'm saying is if the result was
Sure.
there, then people would have been like, this guy is just like,
Yeah, they praising him.
yeah, he's stone cold. But yeah, I mean, he should have went. What was it? Phil at Pebble when Phil went like 7 iron, 7 iron wedge. Remember that? And then you got what's his name? Laurie.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, talk about balls. That guy throws a nuke down the middle of the fairway, and then I just felt so bad for him coming up short. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that ball goes like 4 more yards. It essentially ends up like where Gim's ball ends up. It
Right.
touches that slope, and then we have a playoff. Um,
Mhm.
17 was bananas all weekend. I mean, how about Cam Smith? His 17 tee shot, ridiculous.
Yeah, going right at reminded me of Ricky when he went right at it.
Yeah, as soon as he hit it, I was like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "We're going to playoff." I thought that ball was so far right.
Well, yeah, with the shot tracer, kind of made you think it was a little bit right. That
Right,
was like because then JT put his in the water too and hit same shot tracer. You know,
right. But yeah,
what did you think about the whole burger situation?
so I was going to bring that up. That's similar to stuff that happens more so like with amateurs, right?
Hmm.
So I thought it was, I mean, you kind of got to go with the majority there. Although him as the player seeing his own line, knowing his own shot shape, it is what it is. And like you said, the shot tracer, like you can't really depend on that thing, you
Right.
know. So yeah, it blows, but I mean, you kind of got to you have to go with the majority from your playing partners. If they're like, no chance you crossed up there, it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, I was kind of caught off guard of Hovland being the nice guy that he stood up the way he did. Just
Right.
no confrontation, type deal thing. But
Yeah.
it was interesting because you didn't get to see it. I guess it was just on what the ESPN Plus coverage. You
Yeah.
didn't get to see the argument, so seeing the video on Twitter was interesting.
So this same situation, Sweens is gonna shout out Sweens and and the Brozark boys. In the Ozarks last year, the same situation happened on literally like 17 or 18. Um, we were playing a money game, obviously, and I was playing against Sweens, and Sweens roped one, and it duck hooked left, and I called OB like 120 yards shorter than where he thought it went out. So there was a bit of a heated argument, a little bit more than that. Nothing physical on my behalf, but yeah, it got out of control. But that's it. You kind of got to default. You have to default to your playing partner, and obviously we didn't have like an official, but even that official was pretty vanilla. He was like,
Oh,
yeah,
he didn't want any part of it.
he was like,
That
yeah,
ball.
wherever you think it went out, like, why don't you do your job and say no, it went out here,
Right.
and be, a little bit more forward. But yeah, I mean, I think Berger, handled it well afterwards too. For like
Hmm.
what happened, you could tell he kind of didn't want to kick any dust up like with Hovland, or he kind of owned it and said, it's just kind of a unique situation, and I respect what those guys said. So um
Who had a better hole-in-one celebration, Shane or Hovland?
I like Shane's.
I
I
wish there was a bigger crowd for Hovland's, but yeah, Shane's was good.
Yeah, Shane's is awesome. I gave him a little yell too. Hobbins is good just because Streelman kind of left him hanging, and he ended up
That
picking
was
him up.
funny.
Yeah, but Shane's was just like so authentic, and like the guy had a shitting grin on his face for like 5 minutes.
I can't believe he threw the ball away.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was a good
Um,
way to get the crowd hyped up.
yeah, yeah, man, the players was awesome. Down to the finish again. I mean, Cam Smith going in the water, 18, crazy punch out, but then a 54-degree wedge, or no, I take that back. I don't know what wedge he hit, but he was like 52 or 54 yards out. Essentially that's a $3.5 million wedge right there, and he sticks it. That's super impressive. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, that punch out as soon as they said on the on the commentary, oh no, that's too fast, that's too hard. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
But I mean, just in general, the whole tournament, like the wind from Saturday, like how many top players missed the cut, or how what Jordan, for example, what shot even, or was he 200 the first round and then went to what +9 or so the second round or whatever that crazy is. But the whole huge difference, or Colin, or all that, it was just insane.
Right. I mean, even Saturday when you when you had four of the top players in the world all go in the water one after another, like Brooksy, then
Mhm.
Xavier, that was hilarious. And then of course you get, golf Twitter just exploding, guy like Brandel, you know, talking about the whole this should be unplayable and blah blah. I'm like, dude, give it a break. I mean, and then look what happened today. Like obviously, that became a pivotal point and you know, Cam went right at it. But yeah, that was my issue this week is the whole thing with 17 and the people dogging it and saying it's just like a completely bad hole. It's I won't say it's a great hole, but I think it definitely brings something to the tournament, especially with those like 3 or 4 ending holes. Like it's obviously a huge green. It's all dependent on where that flag's at. But you know, if you really wanted to, you could hit the middle of the green probably 9 out of 10 times, minus the whole wind factor, right?
Mhm.
So I enjoy the hole, but you got a lot of architects on Twitter who are saying that the hole should be redesigned and it should go away and blah blah blah. It's like, give me a break.
Hmm. I mean, it's its identity, so that's kind of hard to, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading. I think that's one of the most like photographed holes in all of golf. So I enjoy it, but I think, to be honest, I think 16 and 18 are just as good.
Yeah, I mean, 18's a, I mean, yeah, you're right. 18's a tough tee shot, as we saw by many of the guys. So,
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in terms of a recap, players was awesome. Definitely didn't disappoint. Um, this week we got the Valspar.
mhm.
Hopefully that shapes up like the rest of the tournaments so far this year. I mean, it's been crazy. I think we've had what, like one kind of runaway winner. That was about it, if that.
Yeah, I mean, they have been some good tournaments so far. Be curious to see what Burns does next week. Because isn't that what his first win last year? Was that Valspar? Yeah.
Was it?
Quick question about Valspar. Do you think, I always wondered, I probably could just look it up on Google, but does the Caddies Union have like a deal with them, since like a majority of them wear those hats all year round? It's
That's a
got to be, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would assume so, probably.
So,
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd like to know that. Speaking of good times, we had a great time over this past weekend, Rob. And we
yeah,
were out,
Friday night was awesome.
yeah, Friday night we were out at the new 70, and that's Sub 70's new fitting center. It was their soft opening. Um, we got invited out, and that place is just ridiculous. I mean, you guys are gonna have the chance to schedule your fittings there and what have you. And like I said on Twitter and IG, I would not wait to book your fitting. That place is going to be booked solid for probably upwards of like 6 months out.
Yeah, I mean, I kept on joking with the people there. Like, if we were closer, I would be try to be there constantly.
Yeah,
It honestly blows away every indoor golf facility place I've been to.
yeah,
I mean, it's just the whole vibe, the whole, you know, the bays, the putting green, just everything was awesome about it.
yeah,
And the cool part is too is like, hopefully when we were talking to them, we could do something down there, because they're going to be able to rent it out and stuff like that. So,
yeah. Jay even mentioned, he said you guys should have an event here. I said absolutely. I mean, it's unreal. I mean, the front of the house is like, a little lounge area / retail shop. And then you have the two massive hitting bays, super roomy, uh, really nice turf, great technology and two huge bays. A lot of different interchangeable um, equipment racks, sub 70 racks that they could switch you out with, shafts, drivers, everything like that. Then you got the putting green in the back with all of their lines of putters, and then their little bar, and then you have another area, in the back there by the fireplace to kind of kick back and chill out. But yeah, the whole aspect of it and what it's meant for couldn't have been like done any better. I mean, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. I mean, literally putting green, for example, they literally, like you said, had their whole line out. But the cool part was it wasn't just like, the 10 or 11 putters they have. They had, the models with different grips on there. So you can get a feel for what you want to do, stuff like that you like. Same thing for the wedges. They had all, staff bags full of wedges to, dial in the one that you like, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
all the little things they did is, it speaks for themselves where, they really care about your experience and getting the clubs that you want and walk out of there being happy. So,
Right. That's their whole thing is the experience. So they want you
and
to.
then watching that dude from the KFC,
Yeah.
uh,
Right.
oh, dude,
Right.
made me want to stop playing golf, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Bryce Emery was mashing balls, literally carrying the ball like 330. Just like there wasn't enough room on the range. He just kept hitting it in the woods. Yeah, but the place is phenomenal. We'll definitely set something up there in the future. I'm assuming probably like, a West Side tour kind of demo day maybe, or maybe we'll do like a post scramble party there or something. We'll set something up there. But
Yeah,
yeah, unbelievable time, super fun. We were talking about on Saturday while we were watching the coverage. We said, hey, we should go back to sub 70 and
I know.
watch today's coverage.
Instead of going to Southside Parade, you could be sitting at the 70 watching some golf.
Right. So yeah.
And they got their new line coming out, which they just talked about. So that's exciting stuff too. Those
Yeah.
irons were pretty sweet, the 659s.
I
So
was gonna say the 659s, they're coming soon. And they look ridiculous.
they felt pretty good. I'm at the three models and Casey was like, hey, just try the blade. And I'm like, I can never hit a blade. I can't. And then he goes, once you hit a blade and you hit it good, you'll never want to go back. And I
Yeah.
think two of them I hit pretty good. I was like, oh man, that does feel freaking different. It was crazy.
You could barely feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't miss that, to be honest. It was nice. It is nice when you flush them, but it's far and few between. But when you do, it's like you never even hit it. It's crazy.
Right.
But yeah, another great episode. We're jumping into the North Side Tour schedule this year, or
Mm-hmm.
this episode, I should say. So we'll dive right into that. And the North Side Tour kicks off same date as the West Side Tour. They run their schedules parallel. Southside Tours offset for both of those. But the first event on the Northside Tour, they go out to Pine Meadow. And Pine Meadow is a great track. Pine Meadow is a preserve course. And actually, I found this out recently. Guess who owns Pine Meadow Golf Course? I would give you 1,000 guesses and you would never guess it.
Is it a group or just
It's a group. It's the
wait, there's a guy. It's the what?
It's a group, and I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
The group who owns it owns the most real estate in Illinois, if you know who that is.
I do not. Who is it?
The Archdiocese.
They own Pine Meadow.
Correct.
Come on.
Swear to God.
Okay.
Not surprising. I mean, the Archdiocese, among a lot of things have their hands in some places they shouldn't. A golf course is probably one of them. Uh, Pine Meadow is a great track. Pine Meadow, know what Pine Meadow is? It's a nicer, well kept George Dunn. That's what Pine Meadow is. That's what George Dunn should be. So, George Dunn has a great layout. Pine Meadow does too. It's just Pine Meadows, and it's always in fabulous shape. It's super fun layout. But yeah, it's the George Dunn of the north side, but much nicer.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then number two, the second event, they head out to Wilmette. Wilmette is a track that's on my radar because Wilmette just got redone. There was a reno there last year. I think it took a year and a half. But it's supposed to be phenomenal. So they go out to Wilmette for the Masters. So, like I said, that's on my radar. I'm probably going to head out there for that one, just because I heard it's a great course. It's always in great shape, and now with the reno, I can only imagine what it is now. So that's the Masters. Then for excuse me, event three, they head out to Countryside. Countryside has been on our Northside Tour schedule the last 2 years. That in the sister course of Thunderhawk. So Countryside, Thunderhawk, and there's another one that belonged to that park district, and I can't remember it. But anyhow, Countryside has two courses, 36. They have the prairie course and they have the traditional course. We are playing the prairie course. Countryside is awesome. Countryside is, from what I remember, it's pretty tight. Kind of linksy, pretty tight, really good shape. I remember the greens were awesome. They ran really well. Kind of super quick and thin or thinner, not as fluffy as some of these greens. Overall,
Sure.
great track. Then for the fourth event, the Preserve at Oak Meadows, a staple of the north side, and another course that's been on our schedule for many years. And that is the Preserve at Oak Meadows. Another preserve course, but another course that shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, the Preserve is up there with the Stonewalls and the other public tracks up north because the Preserve delivers, and it's fairly well, it is affordable, that's for sure. It's just overall, it's an all around great track. And then for the fifth event, for the second major of the year, the PGA Championship, Northsiders head out to Stonewall Orchard. Stonewall Orchard is probably, if not the top one, top two, top three public course of the north side.
Yeah, that's something I want to definitely check out for sure.
Stonewall.
Look, yeah, looking over the course view and everything looks sick.
Stonewall is awesome. Kind of reminds me of a little bit more linksy Prairie Landing.
It's got some water on there. It looks like
A lot of water. It's a great track. I haven't been up there in probably 3-4 years. It was just, well, not just, it was redone a while ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago, something like that. But all in all, I mean, Stonewall it's stupid good. Like I said,
it looks sick.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's always ranked in like the top probably 10 public courses in the state, maybe even lower than that. And then they head out for the sixth event at a place I've never played before, and that's Buffalo Grove.
I've played in a few outings there before.
Really?
Yeah, a few years ago, but it's you know what I feel like? I feel like it's gosh damn it, why can't I think of it? The course off Ireland on the south side, Water's Edge. I feel like it's like a Water's Edge.
We don't say that course on this podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The course we say that, like, so I'm a Michigan fan, and we don't say the the team in Ohio. Um, Water's Edge. It's the last time we'll say that. We're going to say the course on Harlem. So the course on Harlem that charges $80 during March. Um, it reminds you of that, huh? If that's the case, then it's got to be good.
It's not. It's no. It was. It's a fun course. It's definitely got some of the holes have smaller greens if I remember right, but it's
See,
a nice setup.
see the course on Harlem. I enjoy that layout a lot. Um, it's just you know it's not the best well kept, but the layout is unbelievable in my opinion. I think there's
Hmm.
a ton of fun holes there. So if that's the case, I'm going to be looking forward to get out to Buffalo Grove. I could tell you, the guys at Buffalo Grove who I've dealt with the last 2 years, they couldn't be nicer. So I'm sure that's a reflection of the course.
Yeah, I think they do a lot of They have do a lot of charity stuff out there, which is nice. So
Gotcha. And then they head out to the third major and the seventh event of the year. Another, you know, top five course in the state, and that is Thunderhawk for the U.S. Open. Thunderhawk is a beast.
yeah, it looks pretty.
Yeah, it's super pretty. Um, Target golf, but nonetheless, it's a great track. Um, Thunderhawk, I want to say is a Trent Jones Jr. course, unless I'm confusing that with something else. Are you looking at it now?
Yeah, I'm on their side right now. I don't see that.
It's so
Oh,
design.
you are right. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I
These
thought.
are this Robert Trent. Yeah.
Yeah, great track.
Hmm.
Um, it's definitely a hike from the south side, but it's worth every minute. Um, it's just it's super well done. There's a lot of different um
It's a
elevation.
signature sanctuary course.
Okay, a lot of different elevation changes. Like I said, a lot of target golf, but nonetheless, great track. Um, then for the eighth event, they head out
Looks like Stonewall Orchard. Kind of reminds me from the pictures. A lot of
Valspar.
water. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, not as not as linksy, but yeah. And then they head out to the eighth event, and that's at Chevy Chase. So Chevy Chase is a course that I played years ago. Haven't been out there lately, but the guys who I talked to that played it last year said it was in great shape. So hopefully that's the case this year. Have you played Chevy Chase at all?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to get out there. And then they head to the ninth event and the last major of the year, which
This
besides,
is
besides Blackstone,
this is the
um,
course.
yeah, besides Blackstone on the West Side Tour, the only other course that I'm more excited to play is Shepherd's Crook, and that's the Open Championship. I've heard nothing but great things about Shepherd's Crook. I hear they literally have the top greens in Illinois.
Mhm.
I heard their green complexes and undulations are just ridiculous. Once I was sent over pricing for Shepherd's Crook, my jaw hit the floor. It is ridiculously reasonable. I mean, you're talking like $33 on the weekday. Uh,
Really.
yeah, I mean, it helps that it's not really anywhere near the city, so that's obviously, a big draw. They could obviously mess around with pricing. So it's one of the I'm assuming it's one of those courses out in the boonies that like once you get there, you're like, holy shit, how have I never played here? Like
Yeah, these photos are insane.
yeah, it looks bananas. And then so we're definitely playing Shepherd's Crook. And then they head out to the 10th event at Sunset Valley. Sunset Valley was not on our schedule last year. It's new. It's new to the tour this year. We tried to get it on there last year. Scheduling didn't work out. So we're super pumped to have Sunset Valley on the schedule. I have never played there. Don't know a whole lot about it. Um, from their website and from the pics and everything like that, it looks ridiculous. And I've read, many articles on it. I've looked at plenty of reviews on it. Like I said, it looks insane. So I think that's probably another one that's going to be on the bucket list.
Mm.
And then for the playoff, they head out to Palatine Hills, another course I've never played. Just from looking at the website, it almost reminds me of like a Michigan course or a Wisconsin course. Just how the
Yeah.
clubhouse,
Hmm.
just how the clubhouse is kind of set up. Looks for some reason the pictures just look very friendly. It just looks like a friendly place. Um, Kind of looks like another course that's maybe tucked away off the road or what. That's just me assuming. But and then for the championship, they have a hell of a championship. One of the top public courses, on north side there. So they head out to Glencoe. I have never played Glencoe. Glencoe is supposed to be pretty much a private country club, but it's not. Um, Judging from the pictures and people that have referred it to me, it was going to be at first, it was going to be the Masters, and then scheduling didn't work out. And then we circled back and we were able to get them for the championship. So couldn't be more excited for that. Have you ever been to Glencoe?
I have not, to be honest with you. I need to start getting up north more though.
Yeah, you sure do. I mean, there's a ton of gems up there, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that is your 2022 Northside Tour schedule. Um, the Northside Tour, like I said, kicks off same time Westside Tour does. Their championship is actually a week earlier, so that we could be there for the Westside Tour Championship, which is the week
Yeah.
after.
So they're the 1st of October.
Correct, 10-1, and then following following 10-1, you have 10-8, which is the Westside Tour, and then 10-15 is the Ryder Cup. So that pretty much completes the 2020 the 2022 schedules. Um,
Hmm.
Again, probably I think the schedules, in my opinion, just with like the additions of Blackstone, Shepherd's Crook, Whitetail Ridge. I mean, the schedules are literally absolutely stacked this year.
I think I mean, every tour, everybody I think is going to enjoy, the courses laid out. So I'm pretty excited for everybody, you know, to get out there and see what, because everybody says like last year, ever since this has been started, it's nice to play new courses that you thought you wanted to play but never had a chance, or courses you've never heard of, and you get to see all this now. So
I think this is going to be tough to beat next year.
yeah, when you're saying, change it out 4 or 5, I'm like thinking to myself, I don't know, man, these ones are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the great thing about finding these little hidden gems is you never know what we'll find off season this year to add
That's true.
in 2023. But
That's true.
yeah, um,
So I meant to ask you, going back to the players, you know, coverage, because Vince would probably kick me for not asking you, what'd you think of Golden Boy?
hated it.
You didn't like it?
Awful.
So Vince's his Drew is his college teammate from Knox College. They play golf together. Drew's an awesome guy. He runs I think it's called the Famous Group, or he's one of the top guys there. His company's the one that did it. So he showed, it was awesome to see all the hard work they put in to have something like that. I didn't hate it. I thought it was a cool concept. The Twitter world was pretty funny with it though.
Yeah, I kept quiet. Okay, I'll give you this. When it first came up, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Like it reminded me of like the Golden Globes, right? or like the Emmys or whatever that is. Are we talking about the same thing here?
When the trophy came to life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
right.
like the Golden Globes or whatever, I feel like that's been done before.
I never watched that stuff, so
Yeah,
I'll take your word for it.
either. Yeah, I'm not like a huge award show, but I'm just saying I feel like that's been done before. And when it came
You're
out,
telling me right now you didn't get excited when he redid Tiger's putt.
I was just gonna say that that's where it got a little obnoxious.
You
Um,
didn't see Tiger's reaction though?
yeah, I saw it. I thought at that point it was already overdone. And then did you see Golden Boy swing?
Yeah, at 17.
Yes, terrible. Like they just took some guy. They're like, hey, come here, man. Just take a swing with this golf club, and then they just made that.
No, they supposedly they took swings from different players to make one.
Well, somebody who wasn't a golfer made that swing because that swing was it was. Did you see how much he deaccelerates?
Listen, I'm not one to talk about somebody's swing because I have
Hey,
probably the ugliest golf swing.
uh, it's up there. But
Yeah.
I'm no golf coach. I'm just saying the swing was a bit iffy for Golden Boy. Yeah, I thought Golden Boy got too much airtime. Let's just put it that way. I don't mind it, especially like, the first couple times he came up, cool, whatever. The whole Tiger reenactment putt was that's where I drew the line in the sand and I said, "All right, Golden Boy, get off my TV."
All
So
right. All right.
speaking of, let's talk about how awful the commentary is on ESPN Plus.
So
Where
yeah,
where they find those guys? I know the one woman was a former player.
she
Um,
still is. Yeah. Um,
yep, like, and then I know Steve
Kim.
Scott's on there, but like, who? It sounds like it sounds like us being on ESPN Plus commentary. They're like, "Oh, hey, did you happen to see where that one went?" No, I didn't. And they're just like, you know, like I said, call me old fashioned. I like Zinger and I
You
like
so
Hick.
you like Zinger?
Dude, I love the CBS.
Man,
I love the CBS broadcast team. Minus,
the CBS or the NBC?
or the NBC, whatever. I mean, honestly, I like both. I like Nance, I
I,
like Faldo. There's something about the the tone and like I don't know how you get like the nostalgia, I guess, of those
sure.
voices, right? So like,
I
whether
think I think Zinger is a little bit too much. Like I love the Golf Channel's coverage, like prior today, earlier before like Zinger and them got on. I
yeah,
enjoy that. Zinger's just a little bit too much for me.
Zinger is a little much. Zinger loves Zinger. Um, but I do see I want guys who play.
Sure. No, I agree with that.
I want the insight from like those guys like Bones. Like Bones is awesome.
So is it Chris Woods or whatever the former caddy for Kuchar? Because he's out there too.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't
He
know.
was good.
Yeah, I don't know
So
his his name, but like,
Big A is good too.
yeah, Noda's great. Um, See, I like all those guys. Sure, some guys like sometimes bother me. Like, I love Faraday, but like Faraday could be kind of overwhelming. Like if you listen to a full day, like if you're just a complete pile on the couch all day, like Faraday gets overwhelming after like 2-3 hours, right?
I'd take Faraday over Zinger.
Yeah, I could. I'm just saying like anybody in
Hmm. Hmm.
small doses, but
Sure.
the ESPN Plus team is horrendous. I mean it. It's like they just threw these guys in a studio and they're like, yeah, hey, just find some like figure it out. Like there's no script or anything. Like they don't get
Well,
in.
I do. What is it? So because it's really PGA Tour Live, they're commentators from last year, but obviously now that they're partnered with ESPN Plus. But is it Coach? Is that his name? I do like him
Who?
on PJ. I think his they call him Coach. I think he's
I don't know.
yeah.
I mean,
Try to remember.
even like was Tarico on for the majors last year?
I don't know.
I think he was with.
He was good this weekend though. I like him.
Yeah, I like Tarico. I like Nance. I like all those guys. I mean,
Mhm.
like I said, there's something about the old school, especially like during nap time. I feel like I'm just so used to those voices that I could like kind of just nod off and then come back, open my eyes, and golf's still on. And yeah, I mean, anyway,
Still taking naps.
still taking naps.
You're still taking naps.
Yeah, what do you're just too manly and masculine, you don't take naps?
No, I mean my kids are past nap time. They don't nap anymore. So therefore I don't nap anymore.
Like, even if they're out in the yard, like, away for the day, you're not taking a nap?
Mm-mm.
I love a good nap. I think it just recharges you.
So what time do you go to bed at night then?
My schedule is a little weird right now, but
Oh, okay.
normally, I don't know, normally, like, I'm an early bird. Normally, I'm in bed by, like, 10.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sorry. His name is Jonathan Coachman. So they call him Coach. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, yeah. So, back to the nap thing. Yeah, I mean, I get adequate amounts of sleep.
Okay. That's
Um,
good.
alright, well, I guess we're done with this now. I guess naps are overrated.
No, no, maybe it's the jealousy coming from me since my kids don't nap anymore.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, well, I try to nap when our daughter goes down, but rarely does that happen. It's more so, like, when I'm alone. I just kinda nod off. I don't plan to take a nap. I mean,
Just happens naturally.
yeah, you're catching a lot of heat here for taking a nap. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there that love a good nap. Um, I know one guy in particular, he does not listen to this, by the way, but Nature Man loves a good nap after school. Um, anyhow, that brings us into the top 3 round. Are you ready for the top 3?
I am ready for the top three.
Hit me.
So seeing that what was the payout? 3 point something $1 million, right? Cam made
3.6.
3.6. What are the top three things you would buy with your check of $3.6 million?
Am I a first time winner?
Yes, good call. First time winner. So you just won the players, first time winner. You just got a check for $3.6 million.
How long have I been on the PGA Tour?
Jesus.
A lot that goes into this answer.
Sure. Rookie season.
Rookie season. Okay. Um, I'm assuming I've made a little bit of money so far on the season. So I would
Yes.
I would pay
Yes.
down I would pay down the rest of my house
Okay.
if that hasn't been done already. Um,
Sure.
basically, I would pay down all debt, right? So car,
Sure.
house, whatever. Um, I'm I'm pretty tight, so I'm not buying anything crazy. I'll probably, I'd more look forward to like a great dinner than anything.
Sure.
So, yeah, a nice steak dinner, with the old lady, maybe, probably smaller purchases, maybe like a nice watch or,
Hmm.
a new suit or something along those lines. So yeah, I'll go number 3. I would say pay off debt. Number 2, I would say a nice dinner. And then number 1, I would say probably a nice deposit into the family fund. So like, if I was taking care of my mom or like
Hmm.
anybody in the close knit family,
Sure.
I'm sure is eating good too.
Sure.
How about you?
I mean, you went the grown up way. I was going more I'd probably buy a house if I didn't have one already, slash probably pay off my mom or my parents' house if they're still that. But two would be like the same thing. I buy a nice watch for myself
Right.
if if we weren't if you didn't have a deal already with that type of deal. But yeah, the watch, and then I
Don't
always thought about
hold on. Don't say your number one yet.
okay,
Can I guess your number one?
sure, go ahead.
Shoes.
Yeah, I buy the rarest Jordans. No, no, that's actually dang it. Now you got me thinking about that too. No, I always thought about like, what if you won the Masters, right? Or any major, what would you do? Same thing goes with this. I think the number one thing I would do right away is grab my closest guy friends, right? Get a net jet and fly to Vegas instead of stay in Vegas for a long weekend.
It's a
Put
great
everybody up and just go nuts.
that's a great call. Great call. I mean, yeah, I mean, especially early on, I'm sure that's what a lot of, well, at least back in the day, that's what a lot of younger players were
Sure.
doing.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great call though. I mean, that's probably my honorable mention is to gather up all the old school
Oh
boys.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Just get on a private jet and just go have fun, man.
Yeah. Go, almost like I always bring it.
Bachelor party, but it's you have millions of dollars to waste.
Yeah, right, right. They also, I see I would be, not the next day, but after it hit my account, I would be sickened by the taxes that I have to pay on that.
Sure.
So obviously these guys are subcontractors. So you're looking at what? Almost like 1.2. My so 30%, 3.6. What is that? Come on, math whiz. It's just short of 1.1. So yeah, I was in the ballpark. But yeah, I'd want to puke. I get it. You know, the Uncle Sam's got to eat too, but come on, that's crazy.
That is nuts.
Yeah, I mean that's close to well, not close, but anyhow. Speaking of money, we all love it, and we all love
We
saving.
all love money. Yep. Yep.
We all love saving money. You know how you could save money, Rob? You could actually save 75 big bucks on the 2022 CGT membership by signing up for PointsBet and using the code CGT22. That's CGT22, making a bet, and then we would notify you of your sign up. We'll get the notification and we'll send you your discount code to sign up for the Chicago Golf Tour. And you could sign up for the Chicago Golf Tour, saving 75 bucks. So it's a great deal, Rob.
It is a good deal. So it's a round of golf.
Absolutely. It's an expensive round of golf. That's a
Oh,
round of golf at a nice course.
yes, it is.
Or just at a course during like midsummer rates.
True. And then also on the site, we have the season kickoff, the information. So if you're on the fence and you want to check out some information about it, head to the site and you can see what the day is going to be about. And you can register for what you want to play in. And yeah, because we're getting there. We're getting close. It's the middle of March already.
It's true. And until then, Rob, until next episode, we'll see you in the fairway.
See you in the fairway, Tom.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.